Hello everyone, I'm Ajay Balamurugadas, Head of Customer Success and Strategy at PostQode. Today we'll discuss about API testing versus UI testing, which would be the cost-effective automation strategy. Let's all understand that testing is a sampling game. We cannot test everything. Anyone who promises exhaustive testing is fooling you, please be aware. With exhaustive testing out of the question, now the focus shifts to hey, with testing being a cost, how do I get the best ROI? And we all expect our tests to give us quicker feedback. With expecting quicker feedback from testing and ensuring that it has the best ROI, now the question comes okay, at which layer do we test? APIs or UI? Now, I am not saying this or that. The focus is more on the lines of which one to focus more, API testing or UI testing. Because we need quicker feedback, we need the best ROI, and there are limitations with not using tools, automation plays a key role. Automation becomes a great enabler. But then automation also has limitations. With a good automation strategy, we should be testing across layers. The automation should happen at the unit level, the automation should happen at the integration or the service layers, and then at the UI layer as well. Now, the automation should be robust and reliable. Yes, automation should be robust and reliable. If based on the automation result, you are not sure whether there is an issue or a bug in the product or there is an issue in the automation script, then it is a waste of effort, right? As soon as there is a failure in your automation scripts, if you can confidently say that, oh, then there must be a bug in the product, something has changed in the product, then the automation ROI is good enough. If every time there is a failure and you are thinking, oh, did the script fail or did the automation, did the product have a bug? If you have this kind of doubts every time, then rethink your automation strategy. The expectations from automation are like quicker feedback, right? You don't want your automation scripts to run for hours and hours and hours and then to realize that, oh, it is of no use now because the next build has come. So you need quicker feedback. With quicker feedback, because of automation strengths or the tool strengths, you also want a good, decent amount of coverage, like go through a different set of data variations, do some task repeatedly, and many other strengths of automation that you want to leverage in your automation strategy, right? But then there is again a challenge. What you feed in is what you kind of get out. If you're feeding in garbage, automation will help you get that garbage out faster. So garbage in, garbage out applies very much to automation as well. If you are focusing on the wrong layer, you are now solving problems at the wrong layer as well. You are in fact solving the wrong problems. Many a times we have seen that UI automation, for example, has become a project on its own, and there is a team that is there to maintain that project. Hey, you had a product, you wanted quicker feedback, so you wrote automation scripts to get feedback. But now your focus has now shifted from the product to the automation scripts, and this has become a project in itself. Goal displacement, classic goal displacement, right? So while automation is great, automation is a great enabler, think where are you automating, what are you automating, and how all are you automating. Challenges with UI automation, you all must be aware. Slow execution. How many times have you added weights? Think about it. Because there are so many variables to pay attention to. With so many variables, slower execution, slowly your scripts become a maintenance burden. The automation project becomes a project in itself, and then you are spending more time, effort, energy to make the automation work and not actually get the best ROI out of the automation at the UI layer. Execution is flaky, and as I mentioned, goal displacement. Because your engineers are skilled in UI automation, you are doing more and more of UI automation versus the right kind of automation needed. API first automation. I'm not saying get away with your UI automation. All I'm saying is don't start with UI automation. Put your majority of focus from the from the API layer. Adopt an API first automation strategy. With the core business logic tested at the API layer, which is what you actually want majority of your tests to happen, right? At the API layer, once that's done, then your experiential tests across the browsers, across mobile devices, all of that can be done at the UI layer. Okay, so the test pyramid, we all are aware, but unfortunately, sad reality of the industry is this pyramid is inverted. More and more tests are being done at the UI layer. More and more tools are being sold at the UI layer. Think about all of those. APIs, as we all know, are adaptive, cost effective, developer friendly, efficient. They are lightweight, they are maintainable, they give you quick feedback, they are reliable, right? When a test fails at the API layer, for example, you can clearly see why it failed, and most of the times it is because of the product, not because of the APIs, right? Unlike the UI, where you will have to say, did my scripts fail because of an issue in how I have scripted, versus whether it actually failed in the product, right? So APIs are gold mine for testers, developers, for all stakeholders. Please focus more there and ensure that your automation also adopts an API first automation strategy, right? Trust me, 65 to 70% of your coverage, the core logic, business logic, can be tested via APIs alone, right? Remember we talked about testing being a sampling game. You can't test everything, and with the limited tests you need to get quicker feedback, your tests need to be better. API is a great starting point, right? Reserve your UI test for the experiential test, as we discussed about the cross browser, the specific end-to-end test and all of that. Automate for the various data combinations at the API layer itself. If they fail there, fix, rather than taking them right till the UI layer, discovering it through a slow automation, and then going back and fixing at the core business logic, right? If you are facing challenges of your upstream or downstream systems or both not being ready and all of that, you can mock them as well, right? There are so many strategies we'll discuss in upcoming videos as well on how to mock them. You can mock and get your stuff done, right? You need not wait for everyone to be ready for your services to be tested independently. Test design is critical, and trust me, test design at the API layer itself can help you. A good test design at the API layer itself can help discover a lot of bugs. If you say that, oh no, I cannot design my tests at the API layer, but I'll design all my tests at the UI layer, I doubt your test strategy. You should be able to design, you should be able to come up with a good test design strategy even for the API layer also. Test design is test design. It doesn't matter where, correct? If you are not able to find bugs at the API, but you think you'll be able to find bugs at the UI layer, I doubt your API. I doubt your test design strategy, right? And once you have automated majority of your tests, the core business logic tests at the API layer, run them often. Run them, integrate with your CI CD check ins. With every check in, these get executed. You find those issues early enough in the cycle, and thereby you release early. You help the business be more agile and then bring more profits. So, what are you waiting for? Adopt API first automation strategy. Thank you very much.